Hey Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Men, welcome back to another video for beginners. I love the beginner series because it teaches us things that we may know, some things we may have forgotten, or some things we have never known. I was today years old when I learned how to read an analog clock. Be sure to head over to the playlist section. We have a lot more content for beginners. Today we're going to get into how to read an analog clock. So the importance of being able to read an analog clock, a digital clock, or anything for that matter is because there is some things that we should already have wisdom on just because we live here. Back in the day, before we had things like a digital clock, before we were so technical, the way that we learned things was by direction. So you would have to know the north, south, east, west. You would have to know Morse code so you can know how somebody was communicating. You would have to know how to use animals and extract the fat for skincare. So before everything got a little bit easier in this generation, there were some things that we had to learn. So I wanted to learn about this, and I wanted to teach us about this as well. If you do have, any experiences you would like to share about this, you can be sure to leave that down below in the comment section. I personally know people that when they see these clocks, they be like, I'm good, love, and joy. Just put a cell phone out. But I want to take us back so we can learn things for beginners. So let's get into it. Okay, let me get my ink pen. So I'm going to use an ink pen to demonstrate. And your shorthand is going to be for your hour. Your longhand is going to represent your minute. And your ticking hand, which is usually red on an analog clock, that is going to represent your seconds. So when your shorthand is slightly past the whole number, past the hour, it is still that same hour until the shorthand is directly on the next number. So, and I'm looking at my notes here as well. There is 12 hours in a day. So that's why it's just 12 hours on the clock. And the only way to count the clock is to go into fives. In between the whole numbers, these little lines that you see here, these equal up to 60. So the little lines also represent your minutes. And we're going to go ahead and count that in this video. So starting at number 1, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So you have 60 minutes and an hour. Again, when you count the whole numbers, you count those by fives because fives is the only number that can equal up to 60. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So that's how you get your whole hour. Now, after the 12, if you count again, that's going to give you the 24 hours in a day. So after the 12, if you want to continue to count, you'll go 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 hours. So now you completed a full day. Your minutes will never change. It's always going to be 60 minutes in an hour. maybe unless you're in another region. So when we start counting 13, we call that military time. So if you wanted to count 2 days after you counted the 24, you'll count 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. So if you counted around the clock twice, you'll come up with 24 hours in a day. If you counted around the clock 4 times, you'll come up with 48 hours. So you then have counted 2 days worth of time. So just to make sure our wisdom is sharp, I have my cell phone right here. And before I even look at the time, I'm going to go off of what this is, what time I believe it is, and we're just going to put it with the cell phone. So looking at the hour hand, it is past the 11, but it's not on the 12. So I'm going to say that this is still 11 o'clock, and it is 11. And you can always go back and count. So it's 11, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 51. So I'm going to say it's 11:51. Let's look at, and let's say like 11:51 and maybe like 60 seconds, because it's probably going to move. So, but it looks like it's still at 11:51. So it's probably like 11:51 and 30 seconds. So here it is showing 11:51. Now we're going to throw the time off a little bit, and then we'll just go ahead and read it. Y'all see my little background setup, because I was like, how am I about to set this up? So with my clock, this was the easiest way I found out how to actually set the clock. It only had like this one thing here. So I'm literally just twisting it, and we're going to turn it back around and get the what time it is. So my hour hand is directly on the 10 o'clock. So I'm going to say it is 10, 5, 10, 15. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm going to say it is 10, 19, and probably about, I want to estimate maybe, because it's about the year right there on the 20. So I want to say it's about 10, 19, and maybe 37 seconds. You see it's moving right there. So this time would technically be, in a minute, it'll be 10, 20, or I'm sorry, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20. Thank you, Jesus. It'll be 10, 20. So as you can see, I am still learning, but it is really, really nice to have this information. So now these are different things that I'm doing to sharpen my wisdom. I just like to look at the clock. I like to read the clock. There's nothing wrong with starting over. It is nothing wrong with just learning something. Don't ever be discouraged about that. You see me like, okay, let me double back. If you have to double back, you have to double back. If you look at one of these clocks and you be like, okay, let me take my time. This might actually what time it is. You don't have to know off rip. If you have to, okay, let me see, that's 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can do whatever you need to do to learn how you need to learn. Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Man, do not let anyone discourage you at all. Like I said, there's things that some people have been taught. There's things people have not been taught. There's things that we think we know, but we really didn't. So this is why I am so excited to break down the content that we do provide, because a lot of the times it's easier to just explain it, you know, go in full depth with different things. But I'm going to encourage you, as always, to do your extended research. So go ahead and buy you a clock if you haven't already. I got this from Walmart for like $10. You know, start small and just begin to learn different things like that. Again, do not be discouraged. Alexis loves you. God bless you. And I'm praying you much success in your learning in general. Mwah.